All right, Python is really great at making histograms. Histograms, if you remember, is a specific kind of bar chart where it puts a frequency within buckets. Buckets meaning that you have a range of values for which a frequency is counted. So you might have your range of values being, let's say, from 100 to 110, and any value that occurs within that 100 to 110 would be counted in the frequency for that bucket. Histograms are something that are used quite frequently in statistics. So let's go ahead and try by starting with the import statement. We're going to import the matplot library, and then specifically the module pyplot that we've been using so much in this module. And we're going to import it as the object plt. So I've already copied and pasted in a list of univariate data. So univariate meaning it is one variable. So these is just a list of numbers, a pretty long list. So what you'll need in order to make your histogram, of course, is the thing that you're making the histogram of. So you might be importing that from a CSV file, you might be importing that from a JSON file, or you might be copying and pasting it in, I guess, into something like a list, like I did here. So there's all kinds of extras you can put into it, but the bare bones is plt.hist for histogram, and then the list that you're going to be making a histogram of, and then the bins that you're going to be using. So you can do all kinds of things, including the descriptor of auto. You can actually just, from this point, show your histogram. But like I said, there's all kinds of other options that you have available to make it tailored to your needs. But this does create a histogram. So other things that I can do is I can actually specify the number of bins that I want. I can say I want specifically 10 bins. So what that does is it takes the range of values, divides it by 10, and then makes bin sizes of exactly that amount. It automatically does that all in the background for us. So if I were to change my bin size to 10, for example, you can see that I'm going to get a slightly different looking histogram. If I change it to something more drastically different here, like 30. So it's still the same data, it's still the same histogram, but given the bucket size, it's giving us a little bit more granular view, if you will, of what's happening in that data. So it depends on what it is that you're interested in knowing as far as when you want to have those bin sizes, or what do you want to have for those bin sizes. Another thing that I can do, as we saw in the past, is I can make X labels. I can have Y labels. I can have titles. So this is always available for any matplot library plot that you do, whether it's a histogram, a scatter plot, whatever. So now I've got these labels. This is the frequency. Here are my values. There's the title. And certainly within even the histogram method itself, there are more parameters you can set to be able to have more control over how you want your histogram to look.